Hello everyone, welcome back to our Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have an absolute banger of a 2v2 game for you. We have PuppyPaw playing in the yellow as Zushi's Legacy. His partner and brother is Wham playing as the English in the pink. Their opponents for today will be Deebles Freelo, aka Deebles Goatkowski, playing in the blue as the French. And then his partner in crime today will be none other than Jigglypuff. Now in the green, playing as the Japanese. Now, this is a little bit of foreshadowing for a future event coming up on the 30th. I'm very excited to announce that I have a 2v2 show match versus Jigglypuff, Goatkowski, and they will be playing Wham and 3D Anatan. That will be coming up on the 30th. Of December. I will leave all of the kind of description and links in below, but it will be live on my Twitch. I think I also posted about it on the community tab, so I would highly recommend going to check that out. It's a best of 7. It's going to be some unreal matches. I'm very, very excited about it. So you can see how perfect this gameplay is going to be today, because it's going to gave you a little bit of a taste. PuppyPaw won't be in this show match, but he might be in show matches down the line. So it should be a good foreshadowing to see if these high level ladder players can take on some seasoned pros. Now we have what do we got going on over here? We have a little bit of a pre-made farm over here, just to really start to expand quite quickly. Wham is just taking no returns over here, just getting so much farm value already, and just starting up quite quickly. We also have, that's a lot of sheep for Wham coming in, and then his PuppyPaw is also just getting a pretty standard start. Unfortunately, again, we don't have a good caster mode just yet for 2v2s, so we can't really, see exactly what the build breakdown for each are. But now, that being said, and all those promotion pieces out of the way for the new and upcoming things, all of these gentlemen's links will be in the description below for all of their Twitches. I would highly recommend checking each one of them out. PuppyPaw and Wham mainly stream 1v1s, and Jiggly mainly streams team games, so I would highly recommend checking those out, depending on what you like the most. That being said, also, if you are enjoying this video, and you've been enjoying the past couple ones, please do leave a like and comment. It would mean a ton to me. Let me know if you're going to be there at the 2v2 one, 2v2 show match. Let me know if you're just going to be there in the comments, and if you're excited for it. Leaving a like and comment helps so much for the channel. Makes the analytics look a whole lot better, which helps get the video pushed to more people. Okay, that all being said, I think I've bought myself enough time to at least get into the basic builds. So for Goatkowski, we have the School of Cavalry. Yeah, pretty standard for a French player. It's good to see some French when Joan of Arc is just so busted at the current moment. So it's nice to see this a little bit of the ode to the original French. Jigglypuff is going for the Korashore House, which could mean a samurai kind of early aggression. What you do is you pop down this bad boy, pop down 3 barracks, and you just go all in on the Ona Bugattis, aka Ona Bungisha, and then you go in for some samurai and you just rush until your heart's content, and you just kind of take over, eventually build some rams in there and call it a day. It would go very nicely into kind of this knight civilization with the French knight. Alright, sorry about that. Had a little bit of mic trouble there, but we should be good to go at this point. But as I was saying, pretty standard for the School of Cavalry. They'll go very nicely with those French knights. Now across the way we have the Council Hall. Don't see the Abbey of Kings too much, but into Knight Civs it is decent, so I wouldn't have been surprised if I did see Wham kind of do it. It also provides a little bit of protection early on if you're going to be going for a 2 TC build, if you're going to be going for an early Castle Age, which a lot of the English do, because you get that free second TC with your Castle Age. So it's a very profitable build, especially if you want to kind of, since you're so condensed with your early farms, it's a pretty nice thing to do. Now, we also have PuppyPaw going for the Meditation Gardens. Let's see how good this one is. 15 stone, 15 gold, 1 wood, 24 food. Not too bad. It will probably generate a bit more in the future. I think they might have to update. Yeah, I was going to say I feel like it's not fully updated just yet. So let me just let it cook over there, and we'll come back to it. But it does look like a pretty decent Meditation Gardens, because we do see that within the range we have some stone. Even this one might be in range as well. We have the berries, of course. A few, not going to have much wood with these straggler trees staying up. But we also have the gold, a tower coming up for the far out gold for PuppyPaw, which is in response to these, I'm sure, French knights. We already have one across the map coming. The rumbling and stumbling. Looks like what are you going to look for? He's going right down the middle. So I think we have Jiggly's scout right here. So probably going to look to put some pressure onto this outward gold vein over here. But Puppy very smartly puts the tower behind, the outpost behind, which will prevent some glitchy pathing, right? So in Age of Empires, while this game is fantastic, there's no doubt about that in the slightest. But the biggest thing that it really has issue with is that there's a lot of pathing issues, especially around these kind of gold veins, stone veins, stuff like that. Now, a lot of times your villagers are going to be playing Ring Around the Rosie, not having a good time in the slightest, and they might go, even if you put the tower here, right? What if one's farming over here, decides to take the long way around? Well, the long way around is going to lead to a villager death. So while it is more advantageous to get like more poke off if it's up front, this little pocket one is also very nice because you can keep a very tightly wound little group over here of these 5 villagers. They can pop in and out as they see fit. We do have the hand cannon slits going out, which is going to be very nice poke damage to these knights coming in. Does very good into this armor. And now let's check out the meditation gardens in full. 30, 32, and 48. So an absolute banger of meditation gardens coming out for PuppyPaw. You love to see that. If you're a PuppyPaw fan, you don't love to see it too much if you're the other side. It is 6 minutes and 40 seconds into this game, and we're about to hit Castle Age already. The power of Zushi's Legacy. I'm going to be scooping up some of these free relics. Let's check out where they are. One over here, one over here, one over here are pretty easy to acquire. This middle one is probably going to be pretty hard with the knights if they do make a lot of damage. But smartly here, you can see Wham is actually keeping his scout in front of these villagers, and that is to absorb that first, that charging blow, which is how knights can kind of do that that two-shotting of villagers, right? They charge in, and then they do one slice, and it's all over. But now, PuppyPaw has his own Lancer out on the map, and that should be the stop of any shenanigans going down from Goatkowski, and they're coming out quickly. That's already 3 of them on the map. And that is the power of this early Shaolin monastery. 7 minutes, and they already have Lancers out on the map. They're already matching the ability of the French that quickly, and all they did was invest 1 tower. And again, Wham is leaving these in here, not because they can take down a knight. That is because they will take the full brunt of whatever comes at them, and then move on from there. Now, Wham is night hunting at the current moment with his little squadron of English units, and it looks like they have been found. And the Lancers are now going to be moving in. It's going to be 3-3, but these are Castle Age, and we have support coming in from Wham on the other side. So this should win this one. And sorry, it's not 3v3, it is 2v3. Unfortunately, though, these knights are quick as hell, and they can make a break for it. And these poor spearmen have no chance at all. They do have the Nikes on. They're cruising the best they possibly can, but it's not going to be nearly enough. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And that's okay, you know, that is a-okay. We do have another kind of grouping of knights at the top side of the base here, looking for any weak spots that could possibly happen. We do have 7, which means there's 2 more than the actual outposts over here, so 2 of them could be easily picked off if needed. But we haven't even tested that just yet. Wham's going to be walling off completely, doing the classic kind of English style. And now we have the knights looking for a little bit of poke damage over here. Let's see if they can get it. Here we go. PuppyPaw's got the great reaction times already back in the tower, and these ones are already retreating quite quickly. There's 2 more Lancers on the way, and there's 2 more actually over here as well. So I think there's like 7 Lancers out on the map right now, which is absolutely incredible how quickly and efficient these are going. And the first relic will be returned, and the next ones are starting to come back as well. So PuppyPaw is feeling very, very good about where he's at. Zushi Legacy seems to be a little bit overtuned at the current moment. So if you do get to play them and you're very good at them, this is kind of what it looks like. We have 7-minute Lancers coming in hot. No one else is even Castle Age just yet. It's still 9.5 minutes, which would still be an early Castle Age for most. But Zushi Legacy is on another level at this current moment, so they get there almost instantly. ASAP, if you will. Now, we do have some nice defenses over here from Goatkowski. We have towers to protect this deer line over here, making sure they're safe and sound. But we have the English versus the Japanese, but the Lancers are here to help. Now, these Onobugisha are going to be doing a good job into whatever put in front of them, but they're not the best into these Lancers, and these Lancers are really cleaning up a bunch of things, plus the help of these English Longbow on the backhand side. The Bannerman does go down, which means run, baby, run. Now, I have noticed that there's a slight glitch at the current moment. When this thing dies, it just drops the flag on the ground, and it can banner lifetime. I don't think it's a glitch. That is my bad. That's probably intended if they have it in the game. So it looks like that is on purpose. There we go. Okay, so it drops it when it dies. I thought for a second there that for some reason I was thinking that is a mistake. That is incorrect. That's entirely intentional, so that's my bad for sure. You learn something new every day. And the Ombogisha have found more Lancers, but again, I mean, they're good into them, right? They are, but they're not Spearmen. They're not the perfect counter. And look at all of this. As you can see, they're weak against armored. So they do get countered by Knights, and they're decent into them, but they do get obliterated by armor. They don't have that bonus damage against armor like the Spearmans do against cavalry, so that's what makes it kind of ideal. They're very, very... Oh, that is a loud wall. Oh my goodness. Maybe just on my end. Hopefully for your sake, because that thing was obnoxious. But it is going to make it out, so we're good to go there. But as I was mentioning, they don't get that bonus damage like Spearmen do against cavalry, and against armor. They're just completely... They're essentially useless. Everything is really good into absorbing Spearmen, absorbing... archers, stuff like that, but they're not so good at dealing with pure Lancers, especially when they're not Castle Age and the Lancers are. That is going to make a huge difference. Now, the French Knights are here to back this up. The Ombogisha, while they supposedly are countered by Knights, they do a pretty good job into 10 Lancers, right? So, they are nothing to be messed with at all, and they will be able to do a good damage. There they are over there. They're slicing and dicing away. They do actually pick one off. So nicely done there from Jigglypuff. Now, Wham has been allowed to just kind of chill over here. He does have a sizable army as a kind of a classic English army, Spearman, Longbowman. Just a Tale as Old as Time, a combo that we've seen time and time again. We'll see it for the rest of this game's career. However long I've been casting these games, we'll be seeing that the English will start off with Spearman, Longbowman. And I don't think that will ever change. We do have a nice broadside over here. This knight might go down. It actually does, which is a nice pick-off. Remember, knights have that beautiful chivalry bonus. Let's go check to see if we have that in store. We do. Chivalry has been researched, so these will be able to kind of gain their health just right back up. Lancers also came this way, not only to deal with the harassment down at that bottom wall, but they also wanted to make sure that they secured yet another relic. There's already 3 in tow. One's been dropped off. And, I mean, at this point, it's nuts. Maybe Wham dropped it off? Let's see. Does he have a... So Wham did end up going the King's Palace to get the extra TC. So if no damage is done over here from Jiggly and Gokowski, this is going to be a long day for them. You're going to do a lot more damage with those early knights if you want to kind of deal some serious damage. At this point, the knights are just doing pretty much nothing. They've been eliminated almost entirely by this front tower over here and Lancers. That's just kind of been the crux of the issue going forward. And let's see, did that Shaolin Monk drop off another resource? It looks like it did. There's one over here. And is there anyone else to put things yet? There is not. It looks like it's going to drop off yet another one. So PuppyPaw is going to need to actually drop another monastery quite soon to actually account for this many relics that he's been getting. Don't know if he thought he would get this many off the rip, but he definitely can. There's actually one more that he can collect. Let's see, what do we got over here? Are we going Castle Age anytime soon? Just as I say that, there goes the Royal Institute. What are we dropping over here? The Floating Gate as well. So 14 minutes in, and Zushi Legacy has been Castle Age for 7 minutes already. Crazy. Crazy. We have tons of barracks though, so Jiggly's got plenty of production if he wants to kind of mass these troops out front. We do have Lancers though, taking names, taking numbers over here. I wonder if they got any bit of harass down on the villagers over here. So I do see the Ombogisha, but I would definitely love a sprinkling of Spearmen if possible. But the Ombogisha look like they're going to be the selection for Jigglypuff. Again, into what we see over here, I don't think it's the best, but it would be able to clean up this army if it gets in range. But now it's Castle Age, don't think it has a chance either, so we'll just have to patiently wait and see. But both armies from both Jigglypuff and Gokowski, they're the classic kind of combo, but what Wham and PuppyPaw have is just so good into what they have. And this Lancer army is getting bigger and bigger. Do we have upgrades coming in as well? We have more Lancers. We have tons more Lancers coming in. Puppy can really sustain this for quite some time. And we don't have any upgrades just yet, but they will be coming in because that is 5 relics of passive income coming in, plus a sacred site. Alright, they roll up to this first tower, and they don't care at all. These now are Castellars Knights. This one actually will go in the favor of the French, I believe. How many do we got? We have... You can't really do like a good thing. But there's actually too many Lancers here, and they're going to have to actually fall back. Even the French Knight cannot handle this much nonsense. And he's fully aware that Wham will be on his way as well, and there are the reinforcements. That's a lot of spears. You got to hit the hay for sure. There's that cavalry, chivalry bonus coming in, getting all those blinking greens coming in, nice and safe. The spearmen will be able to come over here, but that's going to be quickly eradicated by that TC if they decide to hop anyone in. We have some harassment going down from a scout. And Wham has a large army that he could take down this monastery and this kind of satellite base over quite easily. And Bulgaria are taking on the Lancers, and this is going to be a quick eradication, but we do have knights coming in from the top end side. Puppy smartly gets out of there before the charge gets off, so nothing doing there. They'll just be driving away. And Wham is now tracking down these poor villagers in the top hand side. Nothing can really be done at this point for what's going on over here. Unfortunately for our Deebles friends, they decided to get some early aggression going, and that early aggression did not pan out. And this is what happens when pros are allowed to kind of boom. It's nothing too pretty, but I will say, look how well they're keeping up in terms of score. That's actually pretty incredible, and that's a pretty sizable French Knight mass. Plus we have the Ambogacia in here and the Samurai. So if this were to clash fully, definitely wouldn't be too bad. But remember, Wham has an entire army over here just kind of hanging out. He's left a few spearmen over here to take down these villagers. And he has constant reinforcements. Let's see if he can drop a ram. Where do we got his? We do not have the ram technology just yet. And now the Lancers are kind of retreating under the safety of their TC. You can see that thing is throwing hammers and dealing a lot of damage. A nice broadside's coming in here. Boom. We have a nice collapse. The Ambergacia are doing their absolute best, but they are countered by armor units, as we found out from the handy dandy tooltip. And this French army is just annihilating this. Ooh, looks like we have one Shaolin monk over here. Actually, it's a little bit tankier than I think they thought, just barely in time, but did help out this force a lot. Now we have the spearman coming in for Jiggly, which is exactly what I wanted to see before. This mass Lancer force. But we also have Wham just diving TCs with this amount of units that he actually has. And Bulgaria are one-shot by these longbowmen. And that's not what you want to see, right? If you have English longbowmen that can one-shot things, that is terrifying. Even though they're into armor, they can one-shot all of these samurai as well. Just about. They're so close. But that is when an English player gets very terrifying. When their English longbowmen can start to one-shot whatever they see, armored or not, that is when you know that you've let them kind of just sit back, relax a little bit too long. Now we have the French Knights moving over here. The Lancers are kind of coming in. Still back and forth, but Wham actually has plenty of resources to send over some reinforcement spears, which are going to be able to take out these French Knights almost instantly. And we do have a pink blob all around this, and they're actually just... No, there's actually no armor in this. They're just taking down this TC just for funsies. This Daimyo Manor is going down quite quickly, not up to Daimyo Palace just yet. And these English longbowmen are able to take out any unit that pops out of these barracks, regardless of what happens. They're also able to one-shot any villagers that come their way, because why not? They're going to be trying to repair this, but these are English longbowmen, and that's not what you want to be seeing. If this is the case that you're in, this is worst case scenario. They pop back out, some nice micro there, but I don't think this is long for this world. And Wham playing as the English when they're allowed to turtle like that, this is actually pretty cool. So normally I would say that a traditional kind of like civilization kind of setup in 2v2s is a cav civ with a booming civ. And honestly, don't think of Zushi's Legacy as a cav civ, but actually, I mean, with this build order, it shows, PuppyPaw shows that that's exactly what it is. So those early Lancers took down a ton of the map control that normally French would have with these French Knights. Took that away from them, was able to gather a lot of those relics, and then kind of was the martyr for their forces. So they took the front end burst with all those Lancers and the support of these Zushi town centers, and Wham was allowed to boom. Doing very, very well. Let's check it out. Yep, at 143 already. With I think he's actually going to be going Imperial Age quite soon with the amount of resources that he actually has. And that's what happens when an English player is left to just build out farms, has a second TC for free, and it's just chilling, right? He can produce these longbowmen all day long. All they need is some food, some wood, and they're good to go. Plenty of barracks for productions for those spears, and just hanging out. Doesn't have to invest money into these men-at-arms, nothing like that. He could sprinkle them in if he really wants to, but this Lancer army is enough to provide that overview that he really needs, and sitting in a very, very good spot right now. This is going to be very, very hard to deal with. Now, we do see a lot of French Knights, 30 in total, so nothing, I mean, still a pretty lethal force. We do have another town center going up over here, and another one over here, so Jiggly will be able to get back in this game if left alone long enough. The farm transition is looking pretty sad, though. A lot of villagers are non-existent, so hopefully we can get some. Let's see if he's suffering from, yeah, he doesn't have any food. So once he gets that food back up, he's trying his best also to repair this town center so he can actually start to send out villagers as quickly as possible. But a lot in the berries over here, and that will be pivotal. If he can get back into a good spot, he'll be doing okay. But with that Imperial Age drop, and where's the Berkshire? Where is it? We do have, there it is. It's just right in Wham's space, so he can defend this nonsense right here. Look at this thing raining hellfire down from about 1,000 feet away. Doesn't matter how far you are or how close you are. The Berkshire Palace will shoot you down regardless. Now this is a lot of longbowmen. They can't actually engage too much. Some nice pullback there from Wham. Kept every single one of those farms back. And now the Lancers are over in the Japanese base yet again. They're going, we're not going to let you scale back up. This is also super important in 2v2s. Do not take your foot off the gas if you have the advantage, right? If you have it, keep pushing, because they will get back into it. Like if you left Jigglypuff alone for just even 3 minutes, that would have given him 3 town centers, and they produce a villager every 20 seconds. So you think about that like that, that's 18 economy within 3 minutes. So you have to keep on the aggression if you want to win in 2v2s. Now the Knights are finding a lot of damage over here on the Zushi Legacy player, but PuppyPaw is in his base, his partner's base, which they've already kind of impacted already. So now it's going to be even worse. Now going after the production, which he cannot replace anytime soon. And when there's a will, there's a way. We do have Imperial Age Spearmen as well, tracking down these French Knights. And it looks like they're going to be focusing down this gate. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's actually incredibly smart here from Gokowski. So he focused on the gate instead of another piece of the wall. Those villagers were sent over there to kind of repair. But with the gate, it was a little bit harder of a click. They actually clicked through. They clicked through all the way through the gate and actually got attacked by these French Knights. But I still don't see how there's a way we're going to deal with this. We need some archers. We need something at all. And now we also have Lancers in on the backhand line. Some well played early game here, but even better played from PuppyPaw and Wham. They really knew exactly what they were doing in that early game. They made sure they were able to escape it. And if you can get past an escape an early game build and you kind of go for a boom build, which they both did, you're going to be sitting in a very, very good spot. Zushi Legacy, that was a really cool adaptation to get that early map control with those Lancers. So hopefully I can see something like this in our show match. I think it's going to be real nice. And a lot of these 2v2 strats, I think we're going to find out a lot from some of these show matches that I'm going to be setting up. So I'm super excited about those, and I will definitely share as much as I possibly can with you. Be dropping a short as well soon, and maybe a longer video on the keys and the ins and outs of being successful in a 2v2 game. That being said, there is the GGs. Well played from both sides. Can't wait to see these two go at it in a best of 7 series. Remember, instead of PuppyPaw, it will be Anatan, but besides that, it's essentially what we're going to be seeing in 10 days from now. Super pumped from that. If you guys did enjoy, please do like and subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely, and I hope you guys have a great night.